672-KROE. That's 672-5763. Now, your host for Public Pulse, Floyd Whiting.
Well, I'm obviously not Floyd Whiting, but I am Tommy B, and I'm filling in for Floyd Whiting today, who's not here. He's not feeling very well, actually. It's not the road. He's not a chicken. Everybody will think, oh, you didn't want to drive on the road. And I think it's funny with that open. You know, I've made an open for Public Pulse for every single person that does Public Pulse, except me. So I have about 7 of them, and I don't have one for me. So I am Floyd Whiting today. All right. So I want to thank Liz Cassidy for joining us. First part of our program today from the YMCA. You're the executive director, right, Liz?
Correct.
And
yes.
you've been that how long now? You've been it a while.
Gosh, I don't know, 4, maybe going on 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's like the Y has just gotten bigger and better ever since you took over. So
well,
I guess that's a good thing. Huh? It's gotten bigger. Right. Well, we'll talk about that. In fact, let's start there because I didn't catch the whole show you were doing with Floyd about construction.
Yeah.
And you mentioned in his inquiry for show prep today that you wanted to update us on that. So where are you on the construction?
Yeah. So if you've been around the Y in the last 5 years, we're always under construction. I can almost see the end of it. So just to give you a recap, we are remodeling the original parts of the building. So the old pool areas, the old locker rooms. We went in, filled in the old pools, demoed locker rooms, modeling or repurposing in a lot of respects. A lot of it's cosmetic as well. But we've got storefronts coming in, so windows, which is a big deal. We've got all the pony walls, so you can see we'll be able to move all of our cardio equipment downstairs into one where the family pool used to be. So you can imagine nice high ceilings, plenty of space. After COVID, you realize you can't shove everything back together. Apparently, people don't want to sweat on top of each other.
Right. Yeah.
And so just having that openness. So we are at the point flooring's going to be going in soon. Painters are there. I mean, you're not just feeling that painful spot where you can't see progress. We're really now weekly can see space is changing.
That's better, huh? You can
so
see
much
the
more fulfilling.
result of the pain that you've gone through this time.
That's right. And so over Christmas break, we're going to be able to do that initial shift and get all of our fitness equipment in there, open up that section. And then, of course, we're not done. So we're like a Rubik's Cube. We didn't want to pause preschool services, all those things that families need. And so once we have that move done, we'll be able to go into the spaces that have been decommissioned and finish remodeling those.
Wow.
So it will be next summer before we're all wrapped up, but the big part will be done in the midst of winter.
And did you have any issues with scheduling and closing and all that? I mean, I know you've moved stuff around and changed considerably while this process has gone on, but you didn't actually close down, did you?
Never.
You've been operating the whole time.
That's right. So far, and it might have been the looniest thing we've ever done, but with all of this, with the aquatic center being built, everything, we closed one Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
And we did the most massive, probably my staff's like, don't brag, that was not our. But in terms of our commitment to the community, we just can't imagine not having those services available.
Yeah. Oh, I know people that use the Y and they would sorely miss that opportunity. You know, it's a family event for a lot of your members.
Yeah, especially in the winter. So we're going to be really careful about the move again, because when it's the dead of winter, families need to go to the indoor playground.
Yeah.
Not a want. They're in the need to leave their house.
Yeah, right. I'll join now.
Yeah.
Because of the weather.
That's right.
Today it makes us think. Okay, well, good. And you've repurposed some things too, if I recall the conversations you've had. Some interesting things that you've redone.
Yeah. So like we have our old drop-in childcare center. It's going to get some new paint and a couple little cosmetic things, but it'll become a yoga room. And where our yoga room is will become our nap room. And so it's a lot of repurposing. Our building has good bones.
Right.
I mean,
you're
it's
lucky.
Just a matter of putting things in the right spot. So as a new member with a 105,000 square foot facility, you don't get lost. That you can kind of find zones of, if I want to weight lift and do cardio, I'm not going to go through preschool to get there. Or, just that maze of a huge building.
Sure.
Where the repurposing allows us to really give people better wayfinding skills.
Nice. Okay. Well, then, good job on all that construction. Let's talk about some of the things you have going on right now. You mentioned the Give Your Heart is going on right now.
Yes.
Okay. And the update?
So we're in the second week of our annual campaign. This money is directly to scholarshiping children, of course, based on the name. But the unknown is that we also scholarship a lot of seniors on fixed incomes, a lot of families. And so our goal is $200,000. And we are nearly halfway there.
Oh, nice.
So, and this is all volunteer campaigners. There's no banquet. There's no big raffle for guns or cars. It's just asking your neighbor to join with you in giving. And we get amazing hopeful support in those efforts because with the cost of groceries and the cost of other just basic things, we don't want people to have to make hard choices about things that we see as a necessity, like a Y membership.
Sure. But when you mention just people asking their neighbors and other members, so is it just basically a word of mouth campaign then?
Well, so it's a little bit more formal than that, even though we do have quite a bit of word of mouth. We have 100 campaigners, so just volunteer members, parents, board members who go out and they have like a list of 5 names of people who've given in the past, and they give them a call and say, hey, it's that time of year. And it's pretty amazing to see how people respond to that. My daughter's 12. It's her first year campaigning, so she's pretty excited to make her phone calls because she donates every year. And she goes,
nice.
I mean,
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? So it's pretty fun in that way that 25% of all youth in every camp, swim lesson, membership are scholarship to be there. And so she's a Y kid who's grown up in programs, and she's like, I know friends that wouldn't be able to do these things, wouldn't be able to join me if it wasn't for our scholarship. Wow. So it's pretty fun to finally see that go full circle in my own home.
That's nice. Yeah. So is the scholarship, now I'm curious about that. Is that that's something you do every season, every year?
Yeah.
As part of the Y. And how in the world do people find out about those scholarships, and how are they awarded then?
So that's great. So we have a really simple form. You can get it online or just come to the front desk. We don't ask for like proof of income, all those kind of things that sometimes are challenging barriers for folks. We'll take you at your word.
Nice.
I think that's important. If I just talked to a donor the other day, if you want to fib about your income to get your kid a swim scholarship, worst case scenario, your kid learns to swim.
Right.
We're not worried about that. So we try to make it really simple.
Yeah.
And then our campaigners are really great too, because not only do they ask people to join with them, they often also have their eyes and ears out. We've received kiddos in our programs that are like, man, they should be at a camp or they should get a swim lesson. And we just take that word of mouth recommendation, no forms necessary.
That's nice. All right. And then how often do you award them? I mean,
constant. So
it's ongoing.
Oh yeah. So I want to say on average, we process 6 to 7 scholarships every day. And again, that might be somebody living in senior housing, and it might be a single mom with her kiddo. So, I mean, as diverse as Sheridan is, we see that in the Y, and it's a constant process.
Well, what kind of team do you have to award those? Who decides?
Sure. So we just have a basic kind of rubric to figure out, we have folks that they pay $5 a month for their membership. So they get to go through the same process. Nobody knows differently when they come up to the desk to pay their membership, but it's $5. And we have a real small team that processes those daily and gets a hold of folks right away to let them know so they can come in. And the other thing that's really great is our front desk staff, if someone comes in and says, I'd like to use the Y, but I might need some help financially, we get them that form and we just give them a pass for the day. So Sweet. You don't need to wait. I joke my husband's a federal employee, so hopefully he's listening. We don't have a huge bureaucratic system where you're going to need to wait 7 to 10 business days to hear back from us. We want you in the building using the facility.
Right. Very good. Okay. All right. Go do that. Let's talk about the basketball referees that you need. Tell me about the basketball program, first of all.
Yeah, so this is our younger grades. So you got second and third grade boys and girls playing basketball. It's the first year where they're split by gender. So you've got girls teams and boys teams. And the boys are Monday and Wednesdays, and the girls Tuesday and Thursdays. And twice a week, so Wednesdays and Thursdays, they play games. The other day they practice. So a lot of it's just teaching those basic fundamental skills. It's the first year that they get to play a game. So as a referee, you don't need to be NBA level, so much so that they're going to let me ref tonight.
Oh, wow.
Really, it's just making sure the kids are having fun. It's not getting too rough. You keep track of time. You show them how to throw in the ball. And it's really fast and furious, 32 minutes. If you need a few extra steps in your day.
Yeah, right.
It's a great way but don't expect to see too many formal plays.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of, what is it in soccer? We always call it like mob ball, where the kids are all just in one spot.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So it's a different version of that, but it's really fun, and we need referees to make it happen.
Sure. Okay. So what's the process? What does the possible ref have to do?
So all you have to do is call down to the Y. Kim Jacobson would be so happy to hear from you. She's our sports director. If you came down to the Y too, we would walk you right to her office. She will drop everything she's doing.
It's that bad.
It's that great.
How many do you use for a game?
Sure. So one ref per game at this age. It's short courts, but we'll have multiple games going on at a time. So it'd be wonderful, even if a game is 8 minutes for 4 quarters, so 32 minutes plus a little bit of
the prep and
right. So it's less than an hour of volunteer time, and it is really meaningful. And just like our scholarshiping, we don't want kids the parents have to pay $100 to do basketball. It's a very affordable little sport, and it's because it's all volunteer based, and it's just community members making sure.
So, do they have to do a game every week then?
No. When you can. So she'll get you your whistle, your shirt, and give you the rules of the game, and then you let her know when you're available, and she will accommodate all of that.
Right, and then a little prep, I imagine, some overview before you get started and do your first game.
But I think I just prepped all of our listeners.
There you go. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right, go do that right now. We need to take a quick break. Liz Cassidy's here from the YMCA, and we'll be back in a few moments on Public Pulse here on KROE.
Talk about tires. Think about the snowy, icy roads ahead, and now think about your current worn-out tires. How safe does that make you feel? Well, lucky for you, Midas Tire and Auto has their best tire sale all year going on now. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free. That's 25% off. And the best part is if you aren't ready to put your tires on right now, Midas will hold them until you're ready. How great is that? Don't miss the big tire sale going on now till November 15th at Midas Tire and Auto in Sheridan.
When it comes to your Wyoming outdoor bragging rights, everybody's got a different take. C&B Operations, Buckaroo Blades, and Sheridan Media are giving you the chance to show the world what you want to brag about in the Bragging Rights photo contest on Sheridan Media's contest page. You could win a $300 bone-handled hunting knife and sheath and be part of supporting Wyoming outdoors because C&B Operations, your local John Deere dealer on Heartland Drive, will be donating $1,000 to the Wyoming Outdoors Federation to help make sure we keep our Wyoming outdoors what it's always been. Hey, and this is cool too. Just by stopping in to C&B and dropping an entry into the box in the new Ranch and Home and Hardware Supply store, you could win an amazing prize package, including a new chainsaw. So go to the SheridanMedia.com contest page, click on Bragging Rights, and upload your photo of anything hunting, fishing, camping, or hiking in Wyoming's great outdoors. And you could be the big winner of a $300 hunting knife from Buckaroo Blades. You know, the pioneers crossed the vast wilderness in covered wagons, yet today a lot of their offspring actually have to set alarms to remind them when to drink water. If you're needing water, all you have to do is call 307 Wildcat Well Service, a local company that specializes in locating water, drilling and pumps, even solar-powered water wells. So for water wells and all that goes with them, look for 307 Wildcat Well Service in the Country Bounty, and you too will have cool, clean water. Water. Remember when your mom used to say, always wear clean underwear in case you get in an accident? Well, if you ignored her, and now you're getting your neck collar fitted and you have on day-old underwear, then you need the calming, health-giving stuff you can only get at the Health Nut. Aisle after aisle of the supplements you need to get better and to stay better in a healthy deli and grocery store. And no one judges you for your underwear habits. The Health Nut in Sheridan's 5th Street Mall.
It's Thursday, and it's a new month, which means we have new items for you over on Hot Buys on SheridanMedia.com. This week, we have gift certificates to Midland Market and Just Ladue Steakhouse, as well as gift certificates to the Fiber House and the Sheridan Horse Palace. We have those items and a bunch more, all starting at half off of retail value. Bidding is easy. Just go to SheridanMedia.com, click on the Hot Buys banner, find the items you're looking for, and place your bids. Hurry, though. Bidding ends tonight at 8 p.m.
I'm Tommy B, in for Floyd Whiting today on Public Pulse. My guest is Liz Cassidy, the Executive Director of the Sheridan YMCA. Lots of snowy, icy roads this morning, so be careful when you travel, and also travel to the Y and take part in this great opportunity to do some exercise indoors where it's nice, right?
That's right.
Okay, we want to talk a little bit about, you had on your show prep here, safe sitters. And I wasn't sure what that meant. You're teaching kids to babysit.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So you send your kids to the Y so that they're safe, but then our kids start watching other kids, and we want them to do that safely too. And so this has been an awesome, long partnership with the Sheridan Memorial Hospital. And we have a class coming up on November 5th. So this is for kids ages 11 to 13. So they're just trying out that world of their first job, really.
Yeah.
And it is an all-day, 8:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. And so they learn CPR, first aid. They learned, behavioral management.
Sure.
When you're 11 and suddenly you're telling a kiddo, like, oh no, that's against the rules. Giving them some tools so kids either don't get ran over, or what I find for young youth workers is that they become very authoritarian.
Right.
Like the closer in age, the more they're like, run lines, do push-ups. And so just giving these first-time babysitters the tools to be successful.
Boy, and we really need that too. The families are so busy, and childcare has been, let's just say, a problem.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, in particular, with all of the places that have gone down and everything. So that would be nice to have a few other youngsters to go to for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there what do you need to know to get involved in that?
Yeah, so you can register online just like any Y program, or come down to the front desk. So online, SheridanYMCA.org. It's $60. They'll come away. My daughter just took it this spring, and she had a backpack full of, like a notebook so she can ask parents what allergies they have.
Wow.
She's like, you got to find out where their breaker box is. I mean, they are the most well-equipped babysitters coming out of there. Yeah. So I think, it's youth development work for us at the Y, but it's also just, They come out with this sense of confidence of, like, I have a certification. I am ready to babysit.
I can almost see where it would do more for the prospective babysitter than it would for the people that might benefit from the babysitter. All right. Is there any marketing involved in that then when you are train a sitter that doesn't really know where they're going to sit? Can you call the Y and say, hey, you got any new sitters?
That's right. We don't, there's a little bit of privacy in terms of handing out phone numbers.
Sure.
But I do know a lot of kids that then just put themselves out there then. Like, I have went through safe sitters. My daughter was even told during it, like, give yourself some opportunities, offer some free babysitting. Like maybe mom needs to work on a work project at home, and you help with the infant down in the basement. Mom is here, but you're the
What a
one in
great way to
charge.
start. Yeah.
And so that's what my daughter, she was offering up her services so she could get a reputation and
Nice.
feel comfortable herself. The first time she changed a diaper, she said, I mean, we went through this in Safe Sitter, but it's nothing like the reality.
Right.
And so I think too, the marketing pieces that kids will share it.
Yeah, I bet they will. I don't know about the parameters of Swap Shop, but that'd be a great place. I'm a new. Well, I'm brainstorming.
That's right.
You have had some hiring issues. Not so much. You just need help like
Yeah.
everybody else. Where are we on that?
So all departments still are hiring, but I think we're in a much better place. I think people have settled into their roles. I don't know if the whole community is experiencing it, but we just have a fantastic staff. And so we've got just, a shift here or there that we're still looking for folks in the weight room and in our preschool and our after school program. Lifeguards always. So we have opportunities throughout the Y, and the more we can keep a solid staff, the more we make sure all of our hours of different, pools and services stay consistent. I think I know a lot of restaurants have had to cut back hours, and again, we find it to be pretty crucial that we keep our doors open at all times. So
well, I bet you've been running pretty lean in
we
some
have
places. Yeah.
We're all learning to do everything,
Right,
and I mean. It's great servant leadership, and we know in the long run we've got to get all those positions filled. And especially as you talk about childcare, we try to grow our own staff. Our junior high volunteers become first-time jobs in high school and camp counselors, and so we do all of that. We'd love for young people to see the work and maybe that they would be in an executive role someday in a nonprofit doing those type of things.
Nice.
So we hope that folks consider it, and we've had some wonderful success to folks that are retired coming in and lifeguarding.
Oh.
And that's been great too, to just see it as if I want a community pool, I should probably participate in keeping it open.
Right.
And that's been just pretty heartwarming.
Nice. Do you have those listed on the line then?
Yes. So we have them on our website.
And how to apply and all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, if the computer's not your bag, just come down the front desk. We'll drop everything.
I bet. All right. Oh, well, finally, before we run out of time, we'll need to talk about your Maintain, Don't Gain Holiday Challenge. That sounds like the official title there.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
So it runs through the months of November and December. So your traditional eating Thanksgiving, eating Christmas, eating all the goodies
We're
in
all
the
worried.
offices. And instead of focusing on losing weight, I think a really healthy goal is just to maintain. And so almost anything that involves weight loss, if you know you're going to check in, if you know you're going to weigh a couple times, the accountability to yourself goes up leaps and bounds. And so this is a challenge where you pay a certain amount to join the challenge, and then you do 3 weigh-ins throughout those 2 months, and real quick, just hop into the Y. And at the end, if you maintain, you receive the majority of your registration back.
Really?
So
Yeah.
it's kind of a fun, it's incentivized, but really just knowing maybe I don't need a weigh by the week kind of program all year round, but this is the time where you put on some pounds and then the rest of the year you just struggle to get them back off.
Yeah.
So the hope is that businesses, individuals will look at this and be like, this is a great way to just have a check.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good program then. And in the right time of year. I didn't think about the holidays and the eating, I guess, until you mentioned it. And now I'm like, I gained a few pounds at the holidays several years ago, and it wasn't just, I just kept them forever.
Right, right.
They never went back. So maybe I better challenge myself.
That's right.
Liz Cassidy is the executive director of the Sheridan YMCA. I'm delighted to have you here. Thanks for popping in and telling us
thank
everything that's
you.
going on over there. And drive safe. All right, well, you'll be here in another month.
That's right.
I'm Tommy B. in for Floyd Whiting today. Public Pulse, KROE. We're going to be back with Aaron Butler and I think Grace Cannon from the Weill Theater.
This is Patrick Suker with Harker Mellinger LLC. Since 1983, Harker Mellinger has been the leading accounting firm in Sheridan. We are here to help you succeed in your business and provide services which are customized to meet your financial needs and allow you to spend more time managing your business. Call today to see how we can provide you with cost-effective solutions. Harker Mellinger, 672-0785 in Sheridan.
When the unexpected happens, you may wonder what's next. Champion Funeral Home can help you through this phase of life. They provide support and personal services while helping you create a meaningful tribute to your loved one. Champion Funeral Home has been locally owned and operated since 1911, providing compassion and care to Sheridan and Johnson County. Visit Champion Funeral Home at championfh.com or call 674-6329.
What would Christmas be without tradition? Without the comfort of home, the joy of family, and the smiles of children? Sheridan Media welcomes you to open your heart this year during the 25th Annual Christmas Wish Campaign. Due to temporary circumstances beyond their control, some families, friends, and neighbors will struggle to make ends meet, let alone have a Merry Christmas. It is tradition for the Christmas Wish Campaign to bring the spirit of the holidays to those individuals. In the past, we have assisted several people with everything from bills to food, clothing, Christmas trees, and toys for children.
Please send your Christmas Wish nominations and donations to P.O. Box 5086 Sheridan or submit them online at SheridanMedia.com as soon as possible. All wishes must be submitted in writing and must include your name and phone number. There are follow-up questions our committee will need to have answered to properly assess each wish. Wishes must be received by Friday, November 25th.
Partners for this year's Christmas Wish Campaign are Atlas Chiropractic, First Federal Bank and Trust, Heartland Kubota, Advanced Auto Body, A-Line Roofing and Exteriors, and Wyoming Corporate Office.
Is that pain in your shoulder keeping you up at night? Are you feeling numbness and tingling in your hand? Has your neck or back acted up coming off the mountain? Sheridan Ortho excels in the diagnosis, treatment, and surgery of the upper extremities and spine. The team of surgeons at Sheridan Ortho offer cutting-edge care in sports medicine as well, including minimally invasive procedures like hip arthroscopy and regenerative therapy. Sheridan Orthopedics serves the community with emergency care 24/7, 365, and has for over 50 years. Some same-day appointments available. Visit SheridanOrtho.com.
Your Sheridan Junior Hawks are back at home on Saturday night for the second night of a two-game set with the Gillette Wild at the Whitney Rink in the M&M Center. Beat the rush. Get there early. Gates open at 6:30. They drop the puck at 7:30. Admission is $10 for adults, $8 for seniors, students, and military. Kids 4 and under are free. Be part of the excitement of hockey with your Sheridan Junior Hawks at home Saturday night as they take on the Gillette Wild.
It's Public Pulse with Tommy B in for Floyd Whiting today, who is a little under the weather, so to speak. I guess. And it's not the roads. He's just not feeling very good today. So I'll take the show. Delighted to have Aaron Butler from the Weill Theater, the executive director here, and Grace Cannon from Weill Play joining us on the program right now. Great to see you both.
Good morning. You too.
Good morning. So, I don't know that I have Aaron's mic on. James, can you? No? Can you hear her? No? All right. I need your. I'll just turn them all on. Are you there now?
I think so.
There she is.
Hey, good morning.
Just turn them all on. I don't do this very often.
Like maybe
right?
I wasn't even here.
You have a lot going on at the theater in November.
Yes,
I love this. Your email said we don't have much. I'm like, yeah, you do. You got a full load here. And I'm really curious about the Telebration thing that's going on later this month. So this is like a storytelling deal. Yeah. That's kind of a new thing now. I've noticed this from a lot of other emails that I get and all my. So where do we start? Are you going to talk about Grace?
Sure, I can jump right in and talk about Telebration is coming up on November 19th. And it's an evening of stories, histories, and mysteries. We have 8 different types of storytellers who are all going to come together on one night and just share different genres of stories. You know, they've got between 10 and 15 minutes each, and we've got a little history and local history. We've got some personal narratives. We've got even a little magic, so different types of magic, actually.
Really?
But, so it's going to be fun. I think this type of event exists in a lot of different places. Telebration as an event is a trademark of the National Storytelling Network, which means that we're plugging into a whole network of storytelling events that are happening on the same night in over 40 different countries and states. So it's an international thing. So there's that cool tie-in as well. We're going to be doing it at the YO Theater, but it's also happening all over the place.
Neat. Okay. So then you had a call for people that might be interested in this. How many people were interested? I'm curious.
So we had a lot of interest, and we thought that we did a little bit of recruiting. We also did an open call to see who might show up and show their interest. But it's the first time we're doing it. So we're hopeful, that the level of interest that we got this time might grow into even more interest if people come and see it.
I hope so.
Maybe they say, I want to try something like that. So we can do another one and another one.
Right. All right. So these people are already booked, that you know who they are, and they're preparing their stories, or did they have to say, this is what I'm going to do, and you had to pick?
A little bit. So when we did the open call, we said, hey, here's a form, fill out the form. What's your name? What kind of story do you want to tell? And, give us a little synopsis. So we had an idea of what people were going to share. But then we have this, process now of kind of like checking in with each other and preparing a little bit before the show.
Yeah, because if it's a nationwide event, there's certain protocol you have to follow, I imagine.
A little bit, although I will say it's been really open. So different types of events, you might choose a theme, right? And maybe all of the stories follow a similar theme, or you might choose a genre and they all fit into a certain genre. But this one is kind of wide open. You could sort of choose to tell any kind of story and just kind of stay within a time limit. So that's exciting to see a variety.
Right. So there was a link, I think. I don't know if it was from your call, but I saw a link with some of the national stories, and I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you click on it, and then you need to do the next one and the next. Pretty soon, okay, I got to go.
That's right.
Because there's stories that have great endings.
You can go down a rabbit hole with that for sure.
Right.
And we have a local liaison with the National Storytelling Network. Her name's Michelle King. And so part of the way that this event really came together is she approached us and said, I think it'd be really cool to do this particular event. And so we've been collaborating with her, and she's going to MC the event.
Nice.
So I think it's going to come together really nicely.
So is it streamed then in some way from the YO when you hold yours, that other people can see it at the same time, or is it videotaped and thrown up later? I mean,
well, we hadn't actually planned on doing that, but I suppose it is an option.
But if they're all on the same night, what is the significance of having it a national deal?
Right.
If you're not doing that.
I think it's just a tie-in to the Storytelling Network and to the idea that there's something happening sort of simultaneously, right?
Okay,
So we may be gathering in one place here in Sheridan for these 8 stories, but you have the knowledge that it's happening everywhere.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's like the writers thing in November too. I mean, you don't get to read everybody else's book. It's just they all have to write.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, then, are you doing a live audience then for these storytellers?
Yes. Yeah. Please come. Please, everybody come to this Night of Stories. It's a suggested donation of $10. So we're not.
You're not actually ticketing.
We're not necessarily ticketing. It's general admission.
That's
you
nice.
come in, and it's a suggested donation. As I sort of said before, we want to do more of these. So, the proceeds for that can go towards more events like these. We're going to give it a try.
All right.
Try it out.
It's a Saturday night.
Yeah.
You should get a decent crowd. 7:00. That's the 19th. Is
Yep.
that what you said?
Saturday, November 19th.
And we should mention, too, that while it's the YO Theater hosting it, really is a program of YO Play, which is sort of Grace's purview there. So she's
Right.
in charge of YO Play.
Oh, okay. So, but then now while we're on that, you opened that door.
I did. I did
Your
intentionally,
Honor.
actually. Yes, that was intended.
So now my cross-examination is, what is the connection, YO Play and YO Theater?
So they're hand in hand. YO Play is an education initiative of the YO Theater. And so we have different programs for different ages. We've got, an elementary school, after-school program. We've got a high school age theater ensemble program. We've got a middle school drama club that we do with District 1. And then last year we launched some creative aging classes as a partnership with the Hub. And so we wanted to make sure that we were really opening it up and that anybody of any age could sort of participate in YO Play programs. And so this is sort of our steps into that world of who wants to tell a story. You know, it's not based on age necessarily. It's just open to the community.
Right. Yeah. The creative aging program's taken off a little, hasn't it? I've heard a lot about it from people.
Yeah.
Maybe because I hang with those people trying to age creatively, perhaps.
Well, who isn't?
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good deal, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the 19th, Saturday in November, you can go take part in that. And I'm very curious to see how that will come together because I think it's fabulous. Stories are awesome.
Well, it is after 6 o'clock at night, so.
Well, I know. There's a joke about that. I have a morning show, and I have for 30 years, so I cannot stay up past.
Saturday, though.
Well, maybe I'll take a nap. I'm not really a good napper either.
We'll provide coffee.
All right, coffee. She said it right here, live on the radio. Aaron Butler from the YO Theater, Grace Candace from YO Plays. A lot of other things going on at the YO and that this month. Starting today, we probably should talk a little. I'll mention this again at the end. All right, so we remind people. Is the Wrinkle in Time tonight?
Yes, A Wrinkle in Time opens tonight. It's the Sheridan High School Drama Club performance, and then we have 4 shows this weekend. So tonight, tomorrow, and then 2 shows on Saturday.
I got you. So it opens tonight.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
Okay. What time is that then?
Showtime is at 7 o'clock, so you can buy tickets at the door an hour before showtime.
A Wrinkle in Time I've heard of.
Yes.
Briefly, what's the...
Yeah, so A Wrinkle in Time is a wonderful, famous book written by Madeleine L'Engle back in the 1960s. And so it's a favorite for many people. It's a kind of a young adult story, and it's science fiction. You have a teenager protagonist who travels through the universe and fighting against evil forces. So it's adventure, it's magical, it's dramatic, and heartwarming as well.
Nice. So, okay, that's tonight. And then there's also, do you want to mention the free event today?
Oh, sure.
What's going on there?
Yeah. So some folks might be familiar with our free matinee series that we provide throughout the year for students, local students, wherein we invite, school district 2 and 1s, and, everyone comes, they watch a free show. It's really fun to have all the students at the YO. So part of our series is Paddington. Paddington gets in a jam, just super cute. You can imagine the mayhem that might ensue. Poor Paddington.
Right. Yeah.
So this is part of our free education series. Now, we always try to schedule these events at times when the school is in session and it's easier for them to get there. Sometimes the school schedule changes after we have already booked these shows.
Yeah.
So today is early out for School District 2.
Okay.
So we do have a 10 a.m., which is very, very full, and we'll have lots of great and young people there. And then at the 1 p.m., it's a 1 p.m. show. It's only an hour. We are not full. So we want to open it up to the community for maybe parents who don't know what to do with their kids who are now out of school early. Or anyone else who just wants to come check it out. It's a wonderful, wonderful company. They're called Rockefeller Productions. And some people might remember The Very Hungry Caterpillar years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the same company. So now they're doing Paddington. And it's free.
Right. Yeah. And a live
and it's only an
stage
hour.
show with all the great things that kids shows
fun.
would have,
and
right?
this set is like 2 stories high, and there's really cool puppets. And
very neat.
A fun, loving, adorable story, and yeah. So come check it out. We encourage you to, and would love for you to.
1 o'clock today, and free.
Free.
By the way, Wrinkle in Time, not so much tonight, but the High School Drama Club deserves some attendance too.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay. Now, as usual, you do opera and you do National Theater and you do all those kinds of things. So let's talk a bit about those. Years ago, when I had a cable television channel that decided they were going to put opera on, it became my wife and my favorite TV channel. Neither one of us were opera buffs.
Yeah.
But the more you're exposed to it and start to understand it and get used to it, it just becomes fabulous. And that's what I love about the opera at the YO.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that it's early in the morning.
It is early enough, and a Saturday. It's a really great program, and I think the thing that makes it extra special is the fact that it's live from New York City. So the people that are watching it in New York at the Lincoln Center, we are also watching it at the same time. We
No
can see the
kidding.
same show, and it's neat.
That's
and there's
great
these great
connection.
interviews. You get to see the backstage stuff. So in a weird way, you get a better experience than if you were sitting there.
Right.
Our tickets are much more affordable than the Lincoln Center's tickets.
Sure.
So, La Traviata is this Saturday, Verdi's La Traviata, and it's the second show in the Met series. So we're looking forward to that. It's a beautiful, lush, extravagant production.
All right.
As
Yep.
they tend to be.
Typical dramatic.
Yes.
I was going to say, what's the story? It doesn't really matter. It's a problem.
Yeah, well, exactly. And they sing about it.
Hopefully it'll be solved.
Yes. Maybe. Yes.
But yeah, so that's this Saturday then.
This Saturday at 10:55, weirdly. That's what time it is.
10:55 in HD on the screen.
That's right.
Now I hear you got a new screen.
We got a new screen and a new projector.
And did you got to use that for
Uptown.
Rocky
We did.
Saturday
It
night?
was awesome.
I've heard people say it
Well,
was
let
just
me tell
totally
you
cool.
don't care. Nobody cares about this, but I'm going to tell everyone about it, which is the very cool thing about this projector and the way in which we bought a it's called an ultra short throw lens. And so what that means is we can hang the projector from behind the screen instead of it projecting from the front. And so when people are standing in front of the screen, you don't get those shadows. So nobody noticed at Rocky Horror, probably, except for me. I knew that was happening. There were no shadows.
Right.
It was glorious.
Yeah, because you had the dancers time warping
That's right.
in front of the movie.
The whole
and
thing, yeah.
first time you've been able to do that without shadows.
It's right.
That's a
big deal.
Big day.
It seems
for Aaron.
silly, but it really is significant. It really is.
Being a theater tech, I totally
right.
understand
That's
that. By the way, so I'm not, that's why I brought up the screen.
Yeah, it's
actually,
cool.
I just think it's awesome. And then you're going to use that screen again for the National Theater
Yep.
Live, which is that next week then?
Yeah, November 10th.
the 10th.
And so this particular production, Prima Facie, I believe is how you pronounce it, is starring Jodie Comer, who some people might know from Killing Eve, which is a show on Amazon, maybe? Something like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
And National Theater is always really excellent theater. So if
Totally.
you're in the mood for some fabulous theater, some really high-end, well-done stuff, that next Thursdays.
Yeah, shows that people always talk about.
Yeah.
And stars that even if you don't know they're a star yet, you will.
Right.
And that kind of thing. It's, I'm not familiar with Jodie Comer. I meant to look her up before
Yeah.
we did this interview
Yeah.
because I figured just a photograph and I'd be in.
Probably.
She's kind of the person you'd probably recognize even
Totally.
if you haven't seen something that she was in.
Yep.
All right, so that's 6 o'clock. You always do
Yes.
the National Theater at 6
start at
o'clock.
6, yep.
Next week, it's always a Thursday.
It is.
And I love that. You've done some great shows with the National Theater. There's
I
been-
agree. I love
yeah,
that
there's
series
been some
so
really
much.
good stuff. Yeah,
It's fun. Well, it's fun for me. I think it's fun for other people.
I think so too. Are they pretty well attended?
It depends on the show. So recently, our opening show this season was Kinky Boots, which was very well attended. It's it's a musical. It has a great name. A lot
Yeah.
of people are familiar with it. Things that aren't as well known tend to not be.
Yeah, we haven't heard of it.
Right. We don't know, and sometimes they can get long. I mean, that's real. But
Yeah,
it really depends on the show. There's always people there.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, and with Kinky Boots, I mean, people know Cyndi Lauper too
Totally.
because of her career as as pop star, of course.
And
so,
it's a great show.
Yeah. Okay. And finally, before we run out of time, I already knew about the AARP movie because I talked to Stella Montana all the time.
great.
So, but I didn't realize it was like this soon. Now, November 11th, isn't that Veterans Day?
It's happening. Yes, it's
Yeah.
Veterans Day.
So,
Yep.
and this is a free
Again,
movie.
it is. Free.
AARP is putting this on. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have this great partnership with AARP. They rent the theater a couple times a year and offer these free films for the locals. There's always popcorn, which is necessary. And this year, the film this next Friday, I should say, November 11th, which of course is Veterans Day, as you pointed out. It's called What is it called? War Dog: A Soldier's Best Friend. So you can kind of imagine what that storyline is. It's at 1 p.m. on a Friday, and come on down, check it out. You can enjoy our new projector.
And screen.
See how useful this is?
Enjoy AARP.
Look, already 3 events we've talked about with this.
Right. And 2 of them are free.
Correct.
Yeah. So, wow, we are on a roll
I
today.
know.
I'm guessing. Do you know about the story of War Dog?
I know it's somewhat.
It's
some
got to be
about
about one of the dogs.
correct.
That
yeah,
the
and sort of
soldiers.
this bond that he and his handler have,
Yeah.
and
That's going to be a powerful.
oh, I know.
story.
Dog movies always make me cry. Can't watch them.
Really?
Always.
All right. Okay, that is November 11th again, and you're doing that at 1 p.m.
Correct.
on a Friday.
On a Friday.
All right, for Veterans Day.
Indeed.
And I imagine AARP will be there as well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we got some great representatives from there. And one other thing, I know we have to go, but I do want to mention the Dave Munsick show.
I was going to get there because
you
know why? Because I'm going to give people an opportunity to win some tickets from me
Oh, wonderful.
right now.
Okay,
because
sorry, I didn't mean to steal your
whenever, well, we've got 4 minutes. So
we got time.
Dave is the song teller, and he's got another CD out. I have a copy. I have heard it. The people that do these CDs for him in Nashville are fabulous. They sound as good as anything I've ever heard, period. And he's a pretty good songwriter and performer as well. So you get to see Dave, and in a special this time around, Sam, his son, is going to open for him.
Yeah.
So it's Dave and Sam Munsick. This is coming up next Friday.
Friday. Yeah, this week.
That's like tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Wow, that is tomorrow.
I know. This week really went by. All right. So Dave will do a CD release party tomorrow. That show starts at 7:00, and again, Sam is going to open it up, and he's going to share all of his stories in song. And because I did this deal with him, we have some tickets that we can give away.
Oh, good.
And if you're interested in those, I'll make it really easy for you. All you have to do is text Munsick to our text line. That's 307 number 675-5984. Just text the word Munsick. If you don't know how to spell it, you don't get to go. Munsick 675-5984, and follow the instructions. It'll tell you how to enter the contest there, so I can award a couple tickets to you.
That's exciting.
And go see.
This is really fun. I actually
David
really want to do that right now.
Oh, Aaron,
I'm compelled to be in the contest.
You can be in the contest.
No,
if
I don't
you
need
want.
to be. But
I know you don't, but I just throw your name out anyway.
Tommy. I was like, yes, I must get those tickets.
I have a radio show where I do that kind of thing most of the time, and Floyd doesn't get to do that. So it was the perfect day for me to fill in. All right? Again, it's 675-5984. You'll get a bounce back that tells you what to do when you text Munsick to that phone number, 675-5984. And there's opportunity for a few winners there to get a couple of tickets, all right?
Exciting.
So Dave and Sam will be there this Friday. Don't forget the freebie this afternoon at 1. You could do Paddington, gets in a jam. Tonight, the Drama Club from Sheridan.
Yep, Sheridan High School.
It's doing The Wrinkle in Time.
And it is over the weekend, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, all weekend.
Yeah.
It just opens tonight.
It opens tonight. You can catch it next couple days, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. We've got Grace Cannon from Wild Plays and Aaron Butler, the executive director of the theater. There's just a couple of minutes left here. You have Santa.
Yeah, we do.
I heard. For the Christmas stroll.
Yeah.
That's
It's cool.
exciting.
We've been doing that for 4 years, 5, 4, something like that. Anyway, when the chamber moved from their location, Bighorn Design is there now, I guess.
Oh, from the chamber, where they used to be.
They used to do it there, and they needed a space that was big enough to host a large amount of people.
They did move it to the theater.
Yeah,
I forgot about
that's
that.
when they moved.
But I'm
it to
busy,
Ohio.
on this
Right.
stroll. We got other things
you
going
are
on.
busy. No, I know. I know that.
Okay,
so,
at the theater.
Yeah,
All right.
So we've been hosting Santa for the last few years, and it's fun. It's
That
really
is
fun. It's
really
kind of a cool place to do it, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, we're going to get ready for the holidays and all of that with the WYO Theater and all the things that are going on. All right. I want to thank you both for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Tommy B in for Floyd Whiting today. Tomorrow, someone else will be here. I'm almost positive.
It's Friday tomorrow.
There won't be any guests, though.
Just found out.
We'll just have a conversation. Public Pulse, KROE. Drive safe.